Mixed Combat Radio family, and the Beauty Boxing family, and Texas Boxing Scene family. It's a big fight week. It's Canelo Alvarez, John Ryder. I mean, we know what it is. A little bit of a one-sided fight. Yes, we have a certified Canelo Mexican fan in the house.
And he needs to be updated.
Now, let's be honest. Everyone knows I'm a huge Canelo fanboy. Like I have been for years. I still defend his PD use, alleged, to this day.
I don't, and because I'm realistic. I'm a normal human, you know. That's why I don't. I know he's a fucking idiot. He got caught. That's it. It's a quick little, you know. Sometimes it happens, you know.
No,
so
if you're watching, do not listen to anything.
You don't endorse anything I say.
No, the Mixed Combat Radio does not endorse any comment other than myself.
I have his logo tattooed on me.
Digressing,
You got Canelo's logo?
Yes, on my.
Like
own.
the
not the
with
logo.
No.
His
Just
saying.
his little no boxing, no.
Oh, no boxing, no life. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's huge on my arm.
Yeah.
Let me see. Can you hold it? I've never seen it. Did you have it when I met you? When I saw you in person?
Ooh, no, maybe not.
Oh, these are all new. Yeah, because I got this one and then I got Monster, but like the
Monster for sure. You didn't.
I got Monster, but he's in like South Park
cartoon form. His like cousin.
Yeah, his cousin made it.
But anyways, digressing. So much to get to. Plus we have Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Usyk, and Deontay Wilder maybe all fighting in Saudi Arabia. I guess we gotta talk about that. Hopefully my boy Zhang, right here, flag. Hopefully he upsets that whole thing happening. I know that's probably an anti-boxing thing to say, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen either. There's no way that happens. Digressing. Manny Pacquiao lost his lawsuit against his former management company. We're going to dive into that as well. A couple fight announcements. Jaime Munguia versus Sergey Derevchenko. A lot to get into on today's show. Without further ado, let me get to my co-host. The one and only, Melody Joy from the Beauty of Boxing. Melody, how are you doing?
Good.
Excited for this weekend?
Yes. Cinco de Mayo. It's my favorite. Canelo's fighting. Why not? He gets to literally knock him, a version of himself out.
It does oddly look.
It was so weird.
Like
their poster, they are very similar. Their jaw. Look at their jaw.
Like honestly, folks, like that's almost
brother.
The same person. Like if Ryder dyed his hair orange.
Yeah. We could do it.
He'd be better than that one
better.
Yeah,
yes, you're right.
Absolutely. And anyways, we have our other co-host, the one and only Gary in Dallas from Texas Boxing Scene. Gary, how are you, man? You're muted. It's okay. It happens. It happens.
We're all
Yeah, we've been using this thing for years now. We've even been using it before the pandemic, right? And I still mute myself. You know, just
force a habit.
You can't fix stupid, you know? You really can't.
Are you excited for this weekend? Is it Tank, Ryan?
No.
I still can't believe that did what it did, you know?
No, you know it's crazy because last week all my numbers on Instagram were up at least over 1,000 more than they are now. This is a Canelo fight.
Yeah.
From this fight week to Gervonta.
It's tough, right? Because this is 60. The Canelo fight, this is $60, right?
Yeah.
The other fight 2 weeks ago was 80. So you're gonna say in a 2-week span, they're gonna spend $140 on 2 boxing matches? I mean, it's possible. And I guess it's gonna happen because Canelo is gonna draw. I mean, this is gonna sell because it's Canelo, so I guess so. It may not do as big as other Canelo fights because it's Ryder, and there's a bunch of people who did just spend $80 who may try to stream this, but it's gonna do a decent number. It's gonna do 400 plus because it's Canelo. Like Canelo's baseline is 400 to 500. Like he's not gonna do less than that.
I mean, do we know all of his DAZN numbers yet? I mean, those. I feel like we haven't really got pay-per-view numbers from DAZN.
Or real ones.
We haven't gotten, yeah.
Gary, you mentioned this a lot on other shows, is how often now we hear a total worldwide pay-per-view.
Worldwide, yeah.
Not just the U.S. domestic scene. So, I wonder, this isn't going to do Amir Khan numbers because Amir Khan was a much bigger,
Yes.
transatlantic star than John Ryder. This is going to do like Liam Smith numbers. I think that did around 250,000 or 350,000 if I remember correctly. So it's going to do around that. I do wonder, and maybe Melody, you can answer this better. Is that Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, they were two guys that were linked for a period of time. Both guys were in the same training camp. Everyone thought like Ryan was going to be the little bro to big bro Canelo. Obviously, that didn't really work out. And Ryan was left at Golden Boy, and Canelo left Golden Boy. Do you think the average, like as Gary's talking about, like the boxing fan wanting to pay twice back-to-back weeks, do you think the average Mexican American boxing fan that watches Canelo usually decided to watch Ryan instead this previous weekend? You know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah.
Like when I look at, let's say, like
I feel like we've had enough Canelo fights to where people are just like, I'll catch up on tomorrow on the highlight, But the only big thing is that it's in Mexico. That's the best thing he got going for this.
Because that puts his own ecosystem.
Yes.
So separate from the U.S. market.
Totally different market. That's what I was going to say. Totally different market. Who knows what they're going to spread it to in South America, selling it to other countries. So it's going to, I don't know. That's the only selling point I can see from this would be, because what's on the undercard? Oh, well, two fights that are I don't want to I don't want to knock it. My bad.
I'll bring up
the undercard
real fast. Julio Cesar Martinez, the GOAT.
My bad.
Versus Ronel Batista, no relation to Dave Batista. Okay. Gabriel Valenzuela versus Steve Spark. That's Gary's boy from Australia.
Is Steve Spark fighting?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
In Mexico.
How did he become my boy? Because I mentioned his name as an opponent. If you had to go way down the list of guys to fight at 140, is that how just merely mentioning his name makes him my boy?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I'll take it.
Absolutely. I'll be honest. I might have mentioned him first too. If we go back and watch that show. But digressing, Alexander Vajdic, who I was a big fan of for a period of time. He kind of fell off and had a big loss, but really good light heavyweight versus some guy, Ricards Bolotniks. Why Gary's boy too. Your boy, Melody.
Nathan.
I can finally say this.
Yeah.
Nathan Rodriguez, the son of Marvin Rodriguez, the promoter of Marv Nation, who did the Regis Prograis. It's a Peta fight, right? That got a lot of attention because of the purse bid.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting a guy named Alexander Meha. Beck Nurmag, that guy. There's not a lot of fights here. Lawrence King.
Oh, Lawrence King is on that card.
God, there's no one. I mean, there's other obviously people with full names, with first and last names. I don't know any of these people.
Well, I only know Lawrence King because he was difficult to get an opponent for on a card.
You saw something that said that all of Canelo's brothers were on this card. I don't see any of them on this card.
They beat the Guinness World Record or something like that. Didn't you see that news?
No.
For having all the amount of Canelo brothers on.
But I don't see any of them on there.
I know. Not on this card.
Oh, on a next card?
No, total.
Total. Oh, okay.
No,
that's stupid.
total.
That's stupid. I thought they were all gonna be on this card. I was really excited for that.
They're old.
So it'd be hilarious.
I can't.
Come on.
You better leave him alone.
Come on. Can you imagine just Canelo and all his brothers on the card? That'd be amazing. I'd be so hyped for that. Honestly.
They'd look terrible. They all look like they're drained Canelos.
Anyways, I mean, I see this fight going in terms of the main event. Canelo Alvarez is going to be too much on the inside. John Ryder is a fun fighter, and he honestly has
his record. Ryder
32-5. Only
he
one.
lost to Rocky Felding.
That was
Felding.
Oh
my God.
Yes, Rocky Felding.
Felding is that?
Yes,
yeah,
via split decision, which he arguably won.
Where was it?
I don't really remember the fight. I remember them fighting. I just don't really remember, and I don't care to remember because it's
they're two UK fighters.
Dude, I need my glasses.
And not good ones either.
You can make an argument he hasn't lost since the Jack Arnfield fight, which was 2016, because he
lost the Jacobs fight. If you're gonna say he won the Fielding fight, I don't remember the Fielding fight in particular, but he didn't win the Jacobs fight.
No one won that fight, Gary.
It's like
No
Sergio
one.
Mora and Shane Mosley. No one wins. No one wins. And that was actually a draw, I think, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Mosley and Sergio Mora?
Oh, yes.
It was, right? It was so bad.
Yeah, that was horrific. And that fight was horrific, so it doesn't really count, in my opinion. But, I thought he beat Callum Smith, to be honest.
He did win that fight. That was a terrible decision. That was horrible.
So you can make an easy argument he hasn't lost since 2016. That's 7 years of what should be an undefeated run.
Yeah.
Where he should have beat Callum Smith. He should have got the nod against Rocky Fielding. And, it's a wash with the Daniel Jacobs fight. The unfortunate part is he never really beat anyone of, like, high caliber.
Yeah.
Like Zach Parker, like other sort of UK prospects / contenders. Jamie Cox, and again, another UK name. There's not much to this 7-year run, so to speak. But he's a fun fighter from what I've seen. I know you said you haven't seen a lot. He's a really fun inside fighter, throws a lot of shots. I think this fight's going to be exciting for about 4 to 6 rounds. And Canelo
can make anything fun for 4 to 6 rounds.
That's definitely true. But I'll put it this way. This fight's not going to go long, but both guys are going to land shots. And we're going to be surprised by how many shots.
So not here for a long time before a good time.
Yes. We're going to be surprised by how many shots Ryder takes, honestly. I think we will be. He's a tough guy.
When did Canelo fight last? How long ago?
He fought last.
I know he's been a little active.
Last year against Triple G.
Last September, was it? Or was it November?
And trivia here, guys, because obviously this is his big return to Mexico. When's the last time he fought in Mexico? And who was it against? Anyone know?
Matthew Hatton.
No.
Oh, am I close?
Kermit Citron in 2011.
Wow, 2011.
12 years ago, he fought in Mexico. That's how long it's been.
I don't like Kermit Citron. I don't.
Citron?
You don't like him?
I don't. I don't like him. He's a nice guy too. He's not. He's
is he Puerto Rican?
No, but no.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. But
is he? Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
I think I do.
He jumped out of the ring against Paul Williams. We can say that he didn't, but he clearly jumped out of the ring. And he fought my boy Marquise Taylor, and he headbutted Marquise Taylor 3 times trying to get out of the fight, and he finally did in the 4th round, right before it could. It was still a no contest, and he didn't take the loss. I don't like Kermit Citron. That's 2 fights he got himself out of. I don't respect that.
Gary, I don't respect that.
It's on site.
That guy.
Gary's like,
you can go to Texas Boxing Scene and you can listen to my interview with Marquise Taylor. It's probably from 2 months ago, and he breaks that fight down exactly what happened.
Any other thoughts really on the card, guys? I mean, I think all the A sides should win on the undercard.
Did you see who's on the card though?
I mean, we just ran it down, Gary. Did you not hear us?
I got memory issues. Did we talk about the Vosnick fight?
I mentioned it, yes.
That's exciting, isn't it? I don't know how much he's got left, but Vosnick was a good fighter, man.
Oh my gosh, that picture.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch his last fight. Apparently, it was at the Derby Room in Pomona. Who was it against?
He fought already? He fought since after the loss to Beterbiev?
February 11th.
We weren't there for this.
I've only
got a guy who was 20. Okay, so a real tune-up. 2 months.
Fernando Vargas fought?
No, we weren't at this card.
Oh, did he knock him out?
No, we weren't at this card. This was this year.
I know. I'm just saying, did he knock him out?
No,
he won. He won, yeah.
UD6.
Yeah, UD.
Oh no. Was it a slugfest?
Who knows?
I mean, sometimes I watch those cards.
No, we don't know because Marv Nation's under pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, it's not YouTube.
No, and you can't find the stream for that, allegedly. Which they should fix. Someone out there just saying allegedly
world, you should
stream Marv Nation events. Just saying.
Sometimes they have cool people on the
You will have at least one person, one household watching. It's worth it.
See, a lot of times for local shows, and I like doing commentary for local shows, so I'm not trying to knock it. But for a local show, if they I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. We can talk about it off the air. I'm not. Because a lot of local shows will have me do the commentary with like a former fighter or something like that, and it's fun for me. So I don't want to dissuade him from doing it. So I'm not gonna say anything. We can talk off air.
Gary has shade for local promotions and how they do their production. I like it.
It's not shade. I'm just.
If it was praise, you would say it.
If it's tea, I need to know.
Digressing, I don't want Gary to get in trouble. I guess, even though that'd be fine.
Trouble is your middle name.
I don't think this fight's gonna do as well as 400,000 pay-per-view buys, unless they say like worldwide number.
Yeah, they're gonna
pull some.
I can't. It's Canelo on Cinco de Mayo. I can't see it doing less than 400,000. I really can't. It's Canelo,
Gary,
bro.
If I pull up Canelo's pay-per-view numbers right now, and I find like quite a few under 400,000, well, will that change your mind?
Well, not since he became a star. Like if you'd have to go all the way back to like Laura to find something that did less than 400,000. And I still bet that because that was post Austin Trout. I bet it's the last time he did under 400,000.
I bet that you're wrong. Hold on. This is worth. I like to prove Gary wrong. It's worth it, guys.
Who was the other Mexican fighter? That he Angulo, was that pay-per-view? That had to be, right?
Yeah, but that didn't do 400,000.
That probably didn't.
That was so fun.
Okay, where we at?
I love poor old Angulo. It's got my heart.
Okay, I was right about the Angulo under 400,000. It was 350,000. And let's remind everyone, because Gary likes to go like, don't use his pay-per-view numbers before he was a star. His first headliner as a pay-per-view was against Mayweather.
Yeah.
No, it was Trout. Trout was pay-per-view.
Trout?
Wasn't it?
It was Trout.
No, it wasn't.
Trout wasn't on pay-per-view?
No. I mean, not on this list.
All right.
I'll double check that, Gary. But no, it says Mayweather Canelo first.
I could definitely be wrong. I could have sworn it was, but that was like when was that? Like 2012? That was 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Because Mayweather Canelo was 2013. All right, so Canelo Angulo 350,000. Canelo Laura, which is the next one, 300,000. Lower. He went up against Cotto with 900,000. Still didn't hit $1 million. Canelo Khan, it says 600,000, which was a reported number. There was also a reported number of 480,000.
Yeah.
So
we'll say between 500 and 600 for that one.
Canelo versus Smith, 300,000.
Okay, that's more. That's like 2016. That's more recent, right?
Yes.
Okay, he can do under 400,000.
And then he did $1 million with Chavez, over $1 million with Golovkin twice, 800,000 with Plant, 520,000 with Bivol, 550,000 with the Triple G trilogy, which was really, really a sharp decline. And then the Canelo Fielding fight, Canelo Jacobs, Kovalev, Callum Smith, Yurdam, Saunders, Bivol, Golovkin, 3, and obviously the Ryder fight are under the DAZN subscription services too. So the numbers are a little bit varied in terms of what those can be. I don't know, Gary. This one does low, in my opinion. It's John Ryder.
Yeah, I feel we're gonna be.
I like the guy, but he has a lot less cachet in terms of the boxing fandom, especially in the U.S. Compared to even the other UK names on that list.
So give me a number.
300,000.
I'm gonna say 400,000.
Okay,
I'll say
we're not that.
I mean, I was right about the mega fight last week. I'm just saying.
You said 1.2 million. That's what you said.
Yes, Gary.
Yeah, that's what you said.
And I want everyone to go back to the last show and watch the whole thing and see if I said it. Okay. Yeah, see if I said that number. I might have said it. Who knows? You have to go back and watch the last show. Give another view. Digressing. Any other thoughts on Canelo Ryder?
No, just have a good time.
Okay. Let's get to news of the week.
You don't want to get into the rest of the action this weekend?
What other action?
The Italian card. Francesco Grandelli. It's on ESPN Plus tomorrow.
No way.
Yeah.
Isn't there a
It's not
tomorrow?
Matchroom. It's not Matchroom.
No, Matchroom is done with Matchroom's done with it now. It's still on the Zone in England and Europe and stuff,
Yeah.
but here it's in the USA it's ESPN
ESPN.
Plus. Matchroom dropped it. Some other promoter picked it up and they air it on.
We had the
on-
Pro Box card yesterday.
Oh, it was good. It was good. Did you? I like both prospects in the main event and the co-main. They were. What was the name of the prospect? The big plotting guy that fought in the co-main that they were shitting on.
We did
Not Lozano or whatever his name is. Not
Was
the
that,
guy.
yeah, it was that was his name, right? I thought he was pretty good. They didn't like him.
They didn't like him.
They were dumping on him. I thought he was good.
You know, I was wondering how they're paying for this because they're like rinky-dink local shows, honestly, with like Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, and Mike Goldberg from the UFC.
And the Spanish telecast. You know who's a Spanish telecast?
No.
Marquez. You can't. He's getting paid well. Like Marquez doesn't show up for nothing, right? So, Manuel Marquez.
Do you know who the promoter is?
It's well, this one was Canelo. Canelo was promoter on this fight.
Eddie Reneso.
Oh, okay. Same thing.
It's not the same thing, Gary. It's different.
It's a different.
Totally different.
He has his own promotion now.
I mean, maybe allegedly the same way to money launder, but
I was just gonna say that this might just be an.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know. I didn't watching these Pro Box events. I'm like, how are they paying for them? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Now I get it because it has Eddie Reneso, Canelo backing, which means a lot for a variety of reasons. I'll just say.
But I did hear about him Canelo's team trying to work with local promotions here in LA a lot.
Yeah, they did that show with Marv Nation in San Diego. And obviously, they're probably going to do more going forward. So expect them to take off more and more. Interesting thing is when I look back on both Canelo promotions and Eddie Reneso, they used to do a lot of shows back in the day. Like,
oh, that's what you were saying, like even 2016 or something.
Yeah, like Eddie Reneso went back all the way to 2010, 11, and Canelo went back to 2010, I think, as well in terms of promoting himself. You know, we used to think on this show, especially me and Gary, that Canelo separating from Golden Boy is the genesis of Canelo Promotions and him having his own promotional umbrella. But that predates Matchroom, predates all of his mega fights. Actually, it's Canelo Promotions. I didn't know that. He did the Devin Haney before Devin Haney in a sense, right? Like honestly. Right. But anyways, digressing. Gary, you want to talk about the Italian card that no one is going to watch?
Someone's going to watch it.
Yeah, sorry. One Italian American will be watching early Saturday morning.
I bet you there's more than one. I bet you there's at least 5 to 10.
It's just
no.
It's just Gary.
Lou DiBella will watch it.
That's true.
And so will Joe DeGuardia if he's not dealing with sexual harassment lawsuits at that particular time.
Jesus. Hey, we're going to talk about that later, too. Not with Joe DeGuardia, somebody else. Digressing, though, let's get to news of the week. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, the massive alleged offers from TalkSport. The top end's £200 million. To the low end of £90 million for Tyson Fury, £50 million for Alexander Usyk for their fight, and then £30 million each for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder for their supposed fight in Saudi Arabia. All sides have supposedly confirmed that these talks are real, that this isn't just rumor mill. I am very skeptical of it getting over the line with this amount of money, this amount of...
Why did they release these numbers?
Why did they release these numbers? I don't know. I don't know why. Whoever is funneling this news and information really to TalkSport, I don't know.
Sounds sus.
It's just a lot to me. It's 4 of the biggest names at heavyweight.
It's a lot of money, though.
We can never get in the same room.
90 million?
Just 2 of them we can't get in the same room, let alone all 4 on the same night for this amount of money in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Saudi Arabia is always this black hole of money where when we talk about these insane purses, Saudi Arabia, it is possible. So I don't know. Gary, do you have any thoughts on this?
Um,
And I have other aspects to the story I can touch on as
I
well.
think the rumors are real. Do I think this actually comes to fruition? No, I don't think Fury's going to fight. So I don't. I think it's all for naught. I think you could get some permutation of the other three fighting each other. That's AJ, Usyk, or Wilder. Like two of those three guys may fight each other. But I don't think you're going to get. Would this be intriguing? Because Usyk's got to fight Dubois. Usyk Dubois on the, we'll call them two co-mains as one co-main, and Wilder and AJ as the other. That could get done.
Sorry.
Gary, just continue speaking.
I
Just
apologize.
Pretend like he's not.
I just want to jump in really fast.
We're here. He's just.
This is a part of the news I saw, and we had Rob ask us in the group chat if this will like affect anything, and will he get 20 years, whatever, felony charge. No, I mean, one, people get caught with guns all the time. It always gets usually dropped down. Two, it's Deontay Wilder. He's a celebrity. He has the money, he has the finances to get good lawyers. I mean, and the weed, I know they talked about he had possession charge in the sense of both weed and the firearm. The possession for the weed is going to get thrown out
automatically. Yeah.
Well, there's no. It's decriminalized in California, isn't it? This was. I mean, there's no. You can't
because it's with a gun. It
okay.
becomes something else.
Right.
I'm assuming if you're like, let's say, an aggressive DA, which we really don't have right now, they could probably charge him with like distribution or attempted distribution because there's a firearm and drugs,
which is like so nonsensical. Like clearly, I'm gonna smoke that, right? Like I've had boys arrested for that, like, and they're just potheads and they just had like a lot of pot on them. It's like clearly he's gonna smoke it, right? Have you met this guy? Like, yeah. I mean,
did they take him out of the car and we're like, oops, and then they had to do it? You know, they were like, I'd be like,
that has happened to my boys. Like, and it's like this is ridiculous. Obviously, he's gonna smoke all of that, probably tonight.
Sweet. Better safe than sorry.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, you said?
Yeah. And then he had like the little praying hands.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Wilder is a guy from Alabama, and I don't understand. I don't know what the gun laws are in Alabama. I guarantee you they're more similar to what I have here than what Matt has in California. I don't know that for sure because I've never lived in Alabama, but I would imagine they're pretty lenient, pretty lax gun laws in Alabama, right? Like in Texas, if you bring your gun into the airport, they tell you to go put it back in your car. So, I was just saying, I'm sure the gun laws in Alabama are far more lax. They're far looser than they are in California. I'm sure they're much more similar to what we have in Texas. Where if you bring your gun to the airport, it's like just go put it back in your car. Like, in California, you're going to get arrested. So, can you keep your gun in your car? A loaded gun in your car in California?
No, it can't be loaded.
Yeah, see,
it has to be unloaded.
The laws are completely different, and it's tough when you travel. Like, I mean, I'm not making an excuse for him, but it's tough to know the laws in all 50 states. No, he's not going to go to jail for this.
No, this won't affect fight plans at all, in any way.
Have we heard of any fight plans for him?
No, except for this. I mean, we haven't heard of like an Andy Ruiz fight because Andy Ruiz has his own legal issues, probably coming down the line.
Yeah.
Fighters, what are you doing touching women the way you are? Just come on.
Just chill out, man.
Chill out. George Foreman, looking at you, bro. Okay, you have a big movie coming out, super Christian movie.
Everybody was freaking gunning for you. What the fuck?
I was gonna say this for the last, but I got pulled up.
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, George Foreman accused by a third woman of childhood sexual abuse in the 1970s. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You just had this whole movie roll out, and like every fight,
he's at it right now. He's got to show some proof of fucking therapy, something. How did you get it? You didn't stop. People like that don't stop.
I just want like all the promotions and networks that were pushing his movie to put out maybe a statement saying like, "Hey, we stand with like people of abuse. Basically, we stand with
victims.
It's just crazy. And it's like
So
we saw
sad.
Gervonta Davis
So
in a
sad.
sense, like abuse women, and obviously he just had 1.2 million pay-per-view buy. Like,
in public, so you can imagine what he does in private. I know that's your guy, Melody, but if you're gonna put your hands, like he grabbed her by the neck and stuff, didn't he? If I'm remembering.
Oh yeah,
I
watched it.
Like
Yeah.
it was pretty like
Yeah, I was
dude.
crazy on it.
Yeah.
why
Remember
did
he told
he
me
put that on you?
who?
Javonta Davis being your
That's
guy.
Melody's point.
Hey, I like the kid, you know.
See?
Well, isn't there news about him too? Because tomorrow I heard that he's going for sentencing for his case for the hit and run stuff. I think he's gonna. They said that maybe he might get a year, Gervonta. So he
Really?
might not get out until 2024.
That'd be crazy.
I just saw that on the news too.
Oh, so he's gonna do time for this?
The hit and run. Remember?
Yeah, no, I remember. Hit and runs you usually do
Yes,
time, but I
yes.
figured he's a millionaire, so he could he could figure something
Yeah.
out to not do time. So
I
he's
think
gonna do
still
time.
getting
Yeah.
like so much. We'll probably get cut in half once he gets in there.
It's
Depending on where they put him. So
let's say he was driving with a suspended license or whatever, or he had weed in the car, something in the car. That will usually you can cover that up. When you try to cover it up and run away, the cover up is what gets you nailed, right? Like if you just get in a car accident and like,
well, you picked the wrong people to help cover up. That's the problem.
I'm assuming neither of you know like John Jones, UFC like legend.
I know who he is. I know he's had legal problems. I don't know what they are in particular.
Because
why? What did he do?
He got into. He lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which automatically probably has different laws than Baltimore and Maryland. But he had a hit and run with a pregnant woman, like broke her arm. Okay, hopped out and just took off, and he was missing for like 36 hours.
Came back and said, "I went crazy."
Turned himself in.
Of
They
course.
found like weed, a gun, condoms, like all this stuff in his car.
Well, he's just having safe sex.
Safe sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
condoms.
Yes, because it was all like together. You saw like the what was not the dash cam footage, but the body cam footage of the police officer
taking stuff out of his pants.
No, looking in the car.
Oh, the car.
The truck is just in the what's it called? Not the interchange. Now, why am I so stupid right here? Like in the road, just in the middle of the road, because he hopped out and left.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of the car accident. And he didn't get any jail time. He got like thousands of hours of community service, so to speak. I don't forget how much, but he got off completely.
Wow. I mean, it probably cost him a pretty penny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so. So, like in my mind, if Gervonta Davis did like the same thing, minus weed, then he should
have been.
He should probably get the same charge. I mean, come on.
It could have been just a rumor pop up that I saw. You know.
True. What's not a rumor is Manny Pacquiao losing in his court case against Paradigm Sports, Audiateers, Paradigm Sports, Audiateer, which is the manager of Conor McGregor, infamously, I guess, at this point in time. They've been awarded $5.1 million in a breach of contract lawsuit against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao stays taking L's.
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
He
doesn't have $5 million.
No.
Remember, he was trying to raise $1 million just to be like the president that he wasn't going to be. He had a campaign for like at least $1 million.
He ran against the former dictator's son. He's an idiot.
Yeah, I know. But there was a lot of people that like got mad at me.
The guy he ran against, his nickname is Bong Bong. You can't beat a guy like that.
Bong Bong.
Again, the former dictator of the Philippines' son. Really weird case of U.S. neocolonialism there. But digressing, Manny Pacquiao losing big in this lawsuit.
Yeah.
Any thoughts before I move to the next?
He's not going to ever retire. The man can't hold poor little penny in his pocket. I feel so bad. You know those people that they say like they got hot pockets, you know? They can't the money just goes out. As soon as they get it, it goes out. That's Manny Pacquiao's bank account.
He's made so much money too, like so much. Like he's like all of his fights, like he's made so much money, and he doesn't have any.
Finally, get off on that case against IRS, like owing tons of money. Like he had like his
Al Heyman bailed him out of that when he signed his contract with PBC.
Didn't it?
Like he didn't have the money to pay that. He didn't have the money to pay his taxes. Look, I'm one for not paying your taxes. If you can get out of paying your taxes, do it. Right.
Right.
Allegedly,
Allegedly, of course.
Gary, for legal purposes, of course.
We're citizens of the law. What does that even mean?
Law and order. Okay.
I'm still unaware. I'm not gonna get into it.
I can get
Again,
into it. This whole
Gary?
show is just Gary wanting to talk shit and be like, nah, I won't. I'll be good today.
He's not gonna grace the boxing fans.
Who is gracing the boxing fans is this picture Jaime Munguia that
Lovely,
boxing scene
lovely.
chose. Whoever took the photo for Jaime Munguia is just
He looks like an 80s heartthrob on the cover of Tiger magazine, doesn't
he looks like he'd be in like a version of The Outsiders.
Look how young he looks.
Or like
baby
Top Gun.
face. What is this? What is this? How much did he weigh in this photo?
Anyways, he's fighting Sergey
Oh.
Derevchenko June 10th. Toyota Arena, Ontario.
Oh, baby, we might be able to get to that one.
Toyota Arena in Ontario, not Toyota Arena in Houston, like where the Rockets play.
Ooh, it might be in
Hold
Texas.
on.
Whoop, whoop. If it's in Texas, we're out. Shit out of luck.
Nope, Southern California.
California.
Whoa, I didn't see, obviously I didn't read the story.
Southern California.
So in our area, let's try and get that one booked.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be in Houston. I was thinking about going.
You can still come, Gary.
I can. I'm not gonna, but I still could, right?
I still could.
Remember,
This is a good fight. Hold on.
Me and Becca went last time?
No,
the Toyota Arena.
Oh,
Where did you drove us all the way to Ontario or something? Remember, it was a fight me and Becca went to, and then somebody thought that I was pregnant. How embarrassing, huh? Somebody asked you like, "Hey, how you been? You look pregnant." Like, no, actually.
was that ever again? I don't think that was Toronto. Oh, it was.
Yeah,
it was far.
bro.
It was very far.
I remember. I remember.
I forget what carver that was for. Do you even remember? How drunk were you?
Oh, dude. Gone.
Don't remember any fights on that card.
I don't remember you picking me up and us going home. But
wait, clearly you made it back.
Yeah,
so you're good. You're good.
Fine. That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
Who may not be good is Jaime Munguia in this fight.
You don't think he'll be good? Well, wait, is it?
Ooh, I'm assuming it's 160.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going
middleweight.
Skimp, huh?
Middleweight fight.
Okay.
I mean, Derevchenko is like one of the most underrated guys in the division. He's been very close to some big wins as well. Sort of like the John Ryder form, but much more, I think, established. Derevchenko's faced far more credentialed opponents.
His name's
time in and time out.
Better on paper.
And he's tough. He's a dog. He gets in on the inside, throws hard combinations. He has hard punches. He's durable.
Is Jaime Munguia?
I mean, I thought he beat Triple G.
Who?
Derevchenko.
Yeah, that was
before Triple G fought Canelo in the third fight. I thought Derevchenko he beat his ass.
Yeah.
So Jaime Munguia has always been one of those guys where I always question, what is he? Is he a hype job?
Well, because sometimes he shows up. That's why.
Sometimes he does. You're right.
Sometimes he shows up.
And sometimes he doesn't.
And there, yeah.
And I feel like it's more times he doesn't than he does. So it's hard to tell. Now we've had guys like Gervonta Davis who had off nights and people question him, and look at him now. So it's not to say that he can't pull it together in the big moments. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
This is the closest we're going to see it because Derevchenko's been in big fights, in big moments. He just has lost them. Jaime Munguia, this is sort of that like real last test before he fights, I don't know, a Charlo or somebody of note that really can establish him. I don't know, but this is a fight where I'm 50-50 on. I could pick Derevchenko, I could pick Jaime Munguia. I can see arguments for both. Gary?
If Derevchenko's 37 now, if he was 34, I may pick him. At 37, I'm taking it. Munguia's 11 years younger than him. I'm going to take Munguia. And you're right. It's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a lot of action. At 37, I'm going to doubt the reflexes of a 37-year-old to avoid getting hit. So I'm going to take Munguia in a fun fight, but I'll take Munguia by late stoppage. A lot of people, everyone thinks he beat Triple G. A lot of people thinks he beat Adames. Like, he's been close against better fighters than Munguia, right? Like, Triple G is better than Munguia. Adames is better than Munguia. And a lot of people, a lot of truthers argue he's 2-0 in those fights. But he's, every year he gets older. You know, he's 37.
That happens to all of us.
This age
Yeah.
from Gary here, it's ridiculous. Moving on back to boxing, guys. Sorry, back to boxing. Artur Beterbiev and Callum Smith, top rank, wins the purse bid. Offered more than Matchroom. I do want to touch a little bit on what WBC said about. Let me get over here. Said about Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, because they said they will not. They refuse to sanction Dmitry Bivol in a fight because of Russia. Because of Russia.
Oh God!
Even though Artur Beterbiev is also a Russian citizen.
Look at that.
Artur Beterbiev lives in Canada.
Artur Beterbiev was born in Russia. Bivol was not. But they moved. This doesn't make any sense at all. It makes not. First of all, not sanctioning someone because you don't like the country he's from is like ridiculous in the first place. Like, what kind of? He doesn't make the policies of Russia. Like, he's just a person that lives there.
No,
he wants a WBC title. He
better change it.
How dare he go stop a war?
I mean,
Jesus.
I will say this to the Beterbiev Callum Smith fight. Like that fight. It's not as good as the Bill fight, but I do like that fight.
Yes.
I think it's funny when Matchroom loses purse bids, so I'll always laugh at that. But in terms of this sort of blatant, sort of, for lack of a better term, like imperialist move by the WBC, because like it. For those that don't know. Okay, a little history time about the Russian conflict with Ukraine here, okay? This is a conflict that's been going on for nearly a decade, okay? Ukraine has been bombing the Donbass republics, which now voted to be part of the Russian Federation.
Because they're Russian, right? It's like if you just chopped off where I lived and you said, you're an Okie now. Like, no, I'm not. I'm a Texan. No, you're going to be, like, says who?
An Okie for Oklahoma.
Okie, I'm a Texan. Like who's like, you know what I'm saying?
For that.
I'm not getting a trouble. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
No more Oklahoma hate, Gary.
No, I'll do Oklahoma hate all day. I'm not gonna talk about fake countries.
All countries are fake, as you would think, Gary.
Well be.
But at no point in the last 8, 9, 10 years has the WBC cared about this, right? The second it becomes a more of a hot war, and the U.S. is pumping billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars into Ukraine, do we have this economic sanctioning and blockade of the Russian people? Because it's not just Putin that they're sanctioning. Look at Dmitry Bivol. That's not Putin.
Yeah.
And he's getting sanctioned here by a Western, multinational corporation. Like it's blatant imperialism, and it's sad because Beterbiev Bivol fight is two Russians fighting, and they're
clearly,
and there's a Mexican.
Clearly, they're two Russians fighting, but one.
No, we're gonna sit on this side of the fence today.
We're having
why to Bivol?
Let's say it's Mexican owned but predominantly U.S. centric business corporation.
Yes,
that all of a sudden cares. It's so weird to me. It's sad.
It's like when they get involved with Cuba and sports. Like, come on, it looks. We know what you're doing.
For example, folks, Cuba a year ago lifted the ban on professional boxing. Have we seen a flood of Cuban nationals that are allowed in professional boxing in the U.S.? No. Why? Because the U.S. has economic sanctions against Cuba. And to me, this just opens up a really bad Pandora's box where it becomes these corporations that are beholden to the U.S. market, now determining that the U.S.'s enemies, so to speak, can't have their people conduct commerce here or abroad, but under their umbrella. It's absurd to me. Next is going to be China, Iran, Syria. Like, those are common countries that the U.S. doesn't like. Maybe Brazil if Lula gets more crazy and the U.S. doesn't like him. You know, it's sad. It's sad that
Yeah.
boxing has become this. When I mean, there's a long history of it being tied to geopolitics, I guess, but this is just unfortunate. Sorry for that little
But you're
rant.
not going to sanction a fight because you don't like the country where the guy. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like,
Because of their conflict with Ukraine. But meanwhile, the U.S. has troops in 600 bases in other countries. Okay, actively involved in bombing Syria, actively involved in bombing Palestine. You know,
Actively sending troops to the Mexican border.
sending troops to the Mexican border, sending troops to
So
Taiwan.
crazy.
You know, we probably still have troop involvement in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, the only reason Yemen stopped is because of Oman and China making Saudi Arabia and Iran be all cool and buddy buddy. You know, like the U.S. is a warmongering like hellscape. WBC doesn't care. There's no sanction for U.S. boxers. There's no sanction for the UK with how many centuries of genocide, colonialism, neo-colonialism, and slavery. No, that gets a pass.
Have we had any other sanctioning bodies say anything about this?
I don't know about that. Gary, do you
That's what
know
I
if
was
the
gonna ask.
WBA, IBF, or any
Have
other
they give a
ones?
statement?
I haven't seen that yet.
Mm.
I
Gary
haven't
knows.
heard it. If they haven't, I haven't heard of it.
Who's gonna throw Bivol under the
If
bus?
anyone obviously watched this tomorrow, let us know. If you have heard of other
Yeah.
sanctioning bodies, I'll probably look it up now because I'm mad.
Sorry.
But
Ask
digress. Shout out to Better Beef, I guess, for living in Canada. That makes him an okay Russian.
Bivol, bad Russian.
Dude,
You're handsome.
Dude, look at his face.
Handsome.
How can you say that guy's a bad guy?
Handsome.
He's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy.
He's a Greek god
He's gorgeous.
from Central Asia. Okay.
Oh, he is. He's gorgeous.
I don't know if he's actually from Central Asia. He could be from like.
He doesn't. He could be
I never know where these. He's from Kyrgyzstan, right? I don't. Is that? I guess that's Central Asia, right?
Yes, that is Central
Yeah.
Asia.
Okay.
Oh, I saw this show. There's like it's a reality show, but it's in his country. It's I just watched the I'm weird.
Which one is it? The
remember it was like all the millionaires of Kyrgyzstan dating like.
Oh, that one. I was thinking about a different
one. Oh my god, they all look like Bivol. Gorgeous. And they're millionaires.
Anyways, moving on to the next topic.
A third.
Ezralandi Laura, Danny Garcia title fight approved by the WBA. Obviously, the bigger part of the title, winner to face Michael Zarafa next. Whoop-de-doo.
That will
you have to get to buy the old man.
That will be vacated, or they'll pay him step-aside money because no one wants to fight Michael Zarafa. There's no interest in that fight.
Gary, I know you're a big Danny Garcia fan. Thoughts on? Yes, you are, Gary. Don't lie.
I'm a big Laura fan. I don't like or dislike Danny Garcia. I have really no rooting interest in Danny Garcia.
I mean, this is two old guys fighting, in a way. Danny Garcia is fighting above his weight. Yeah. I don't know who to pick in this one. I'm picking Laura hesitantly. But I'll admit, I do like this matchup. I think it's a very even fight. A battle for relevancy in the division. I approve of this.
And then we're going Zephyr after?
Yeah, the mega fight after that. Of course.
Mega fight. Okay, pay-per-view.
Which will not happen. Whoever wins will not fight. Because whoever wins, like they're kind of on their last legs, and they're going to want paydays. And Michael Zarafa, not a payday. So they will either pay him step-aside money or vacate the belt.
Last topic of the day. Prograde to sign with Matchroom Boxing was also pursued by Top Rank. Guys, was this a good choice?
I think so. I think so, right? Like he trains with O'Shaquie Foster, and I think O'Shaquie Foster is going to sign with because he said he's a free agent now.
Who Joe Cordina is ducking.
Who Joe Cordina is ducking. What's up, Joe?
You're watching, Joe.
I know you're watching, Joe.
Man, Gary's a hater.
No, he I'm not going to repeat on air what he said to me on Twitter, but it was quite funny. So I'm a fan of Joe Cordina. He's not going to beat O'Shaquie Foster, but I like Joe Cordina. I went from indifferent to I think he's amusing.
Mm.
For
Like-
what he tweeted at me. I would still advise him not to mess with Texas. That's what I would tell. That would be my advice to Joe Cordino. No, but I think it's a good move. I think at 140, most of the talent is at PBC. I don't understand why he doesn't sign with PBC, but if he's not gonna, I think Eddie will get him fights. You know, there are fights for him to that he can make. I don't think it's a bad option. PBC would have made the most sense, but for whatever, like, he just doesn't want to fight on that side.
Or Top
So-
Rank.
But Ramirez is clearly, like, for Top Rank, you're looking at the Ramirez fight, right? Then there's other fights, but Ramirez would be the big one. Ramirez is not going to fight him.
What do you mean, Josh Taylor?
Yeah. I keep thinking this is it for him. Like, he has not moved up to 147 yet. So, yeah.
And you have Arnold Barboza.
It's not a big
Okay.
fight.
You have Pedraza.
Yeah, these aren't big. I mean, these are all right fights.
But these are top 10
Yeah.
guys, you know, like it's Top Rank, or like you said, PBC. Matchroom has nobody on this list that I see. Steve Spark?
Montana Love, Steve Spark.
Steve Spark, man, the legend.
Steve Spark.
And,
He's finally speaking, guys.
and
Don't miss it.
Rob's boy, who they don't like, Dalton Smith.
No, Dalton Smith, no, stop. Okay.
Obviously, you can see the level of competition he fights this many fights into his career. Eddie Hearn doesn't think he's any good.
I can't even find him on BoxRec. Hold on.
He only fights nobodies. He's 5 years into his pro career now. He's still fighting nobodies. Still fighting guys.
14-0.
Maxwell. Wow. Sam. Maxwell.
Look who he's fighting. I mean, this is what Eddie Hearn thinks of him.
Yeah.
Trash. It's trash, Rob.
Trash. Basura.
Okay, Lewis Ritson was better.
Whoa. Throwing Ritson in the mix for no reason. Let's watch his last fight.
Digressing. I think this was a bad move by Prograis. I think
he could have done better.
Yeah, Top Rank or PBC. He's already worked with PBC. Why not go there?
Of course.
Top Rank, we know it says in the article that they offered him.
Because PBC didn't offer him anything. From what I mean, it didn't say PBC did, so I wouldn't assume that PBC offered him anything. And if you fight on PBC, you're only fighting once a year, which I guess he only fights once a year anyway because no one wants to fight him.
Or that he just is not that active. I mean,
I was just gonna say that he might like it because he's not active anyway.
He's a weird dude. I mean, it's Prograis. He's a weird
Yeah.
guy. He seems like the type that would fight once a year and then just
be
like
satisfied with that.
and then just go in the swamps in the bayou for like 9 months straight and like go alligator hunting or some shit. You know,
Make more babies.
that's what he does, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, Melody, any other thoughts on that topic?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. Regis going to Matchroom is not a good idea for his career. There's so much other things he could have done, but I don't know why he chose Matchroom. Like Dizzy, and then there was an article I read about a fighter, and they were having problems with Probellum turning to Disrupt. They were also a Matchroom fighter, you know, and they were having those kind of problems. You know what I mean? So I don't. That's no. And he was also one of the fighters that was, you know.
Plus, I think about like moving up to like.
with.
Plus, I think about moving up to 147, and there's like no one on Matchroom stable too that really.
Is he gonna fight in the UK? Is he that famous?
Hunter Ben in Texas, like that.
I trip out. I constantly trip out at like why people are fighting in Texas, like Matchroom cards. But then I realize you guys only need 3 tests to freaking fight on a pro card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in shock.
Easy.
I'm in shock.
When I saw like other commissions, like how New York goes about it, I was like blown away. It's
everybody gets so angry at us, like the fighters, and like they call from Texas and they're like, "What do I have to do?" And I give them like the lowdown, and it's 12 different, you know, tests and 6 different doctors, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And then when I realized it was like 3 things, they're like, "We just have to make sure we can fucking stand up. We don't have AIDS, and we're
not pregnant."
You know, not blind, apparently.
I think you can fight if you're blind. I'm pretty sure.
You can fight with lots of things lodged. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we should wrap it up because we're at the hour mark.
Real quick, one more. Commerce That last fight we were looking at was like June 10th in Ontario at the Toyota,
Yeah.
the Munguia fight, right?
Yeah.
That's on the 9th, 10th, the 10th. So the day before that is Tom Loeffner's 360 fight, our local.
Which we were invited to.
Yes. So hopefully that'll be super fun at Commerce the night before. And there's a couple of good guys. I'm pretty sure he'll know.
Maybe we just go to
the Callum Walsh.
Maybe we just go to the Commerce
I know.
one.
I was just thinking that because if it's a 2-day thing, no, I don't think I can handle a 2-day. Oh yeah, we might have to skip.
It's the commute. Ontario
I know.
is
Plus
2
they give us $50 into food vouchers.
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, right there, you get your gas money back.
Steak nachos, I'm on it, dude. Fuck that shit.
Go. See, Melody knows it's $50 in food vouchers.
That's a lot.
Well,
dude.
it's 25 for her, 25 for me, so it's $50 combined.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, I'm using both of them. The fuck.
I don't get a choice.
No.
Digressing. Final thoughts.
On tonight's show.
Yes, on
Jerry
the week.
Springer, didn't he pass away this week?
R.I.P. Jerry Springer.
I just said that because this is final thoughts. The end of his show.
Are you old enough to remember Jerry Springer, Matt?
Of course. Shout out to WGA, all the Writers Guild on strike right now. Shout out to all the people on strike. Amazon, Starbucks, keep going on strike.
Starbucks has a strike too?
Oh my God, there's like at least 300 stores that have unionized and.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, I didn't know.
It's rolling strike efforts.
Okay.
So you got to think about like when one store wants to unionize and they determine their strikes, but every once in a while, like every month or so, they do a nationwide strike. So it'd be like 300, 400 stores closed down for the day.
Things like Starbucks, they really have the power because people rely on Starbucks.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Okay. Remember, hit the like button, share the show, all that fun stuff.
Watch Canelo in Mexico.
Yes, Canelo, obviously. This weekend, tune in.
Oh, and my favorite ring girl.
Illegally.
My favorite ring girl is gonna be there. Janera. The most beautiful ring girl of Tecate. She'll be at the Canelo fights, and then on June 9th, I'm gonna harass her until she takes a picture with me.
She's good peeps. I met her at a Golden Boy card when she's cool peeps.
She's beautiful.
She is nice.
She is
so nice. So nice.
She was everyone's favorite Tecate girl. That she was. I don't have one. I don't have a favorite Tecate girl because I'm a happily married man. But everyone who had a favorite.
Good answer, Barry. Good answer. That was a good answer.
Was their favorite one.
Save.
Good save there. Good save there.
I'll take it.
Gary's wiping on the other side of the computer.
I don't have a favorite Tecate girl.
I watched this.
Obviously, go to thebeautyofboxing.com for Miss Melody Joy. Melody, any other final thoughts?
No, let's just have a good weekend. Cinco de Mayo for us. Canelo fight. Get good stuff, drink. Let's have fun and be safe.
Gary, any final thoughts?
Oh, a peace in the Middle East.
Peace everywhere. Like, stop bombing people in general.
Only
kind of needed a little more.
Find me all on social media, 3D Boxing Blog. Check out for my article on Omar Juarez. He's going to have a documentary coming out this fall, which I will also be a part of. That will be on TexasBoxingScene.com. That will be up Sunday evening, so check that out. And it is May 4th, 2023, and Texas is still not a country. Make Texas a country again. From Texas to the world, thank you, and God bless.
Have a good night, everyone. Peace.